What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? All right. Um, we're gonna do some dragons. We're gonna have a quick conversation. Now, whether anybody agrees with me or not, or whatever the case is, it's just a suggestion. It's not set in stone what I'm saying. It's not whatever. All right. First things first. I'm addressing the boosting issue. Now, I'm not on the global server. Okay, so. And it's a good thing I'm not on the global server. I choose to remain neutral. Okay, I really don't want to take sides with anybody on this one. But what I am going to say is I think that we should just move on from the situation, okay, and try and solve the situation instead of sitting there complaining and arguing and whatever the case is. All right. Now, there have been many posts on the forum with somebody saying, oh, this should be done and that should be done. And like, I agree and I disagree. All right. So I'm going to tell you guys what happened on the Asia server. All right. Because there was a booster on the Asia server, but it was a different kind of boosting on the Asia server. On the Asia server, it was somebody with a damage hack. Pretty much, they were beating, honestly, I saw people's logs. It said 0 minute, 0 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 2 minute, 2 minute. Like, we're talking about this guy was beating people, and it wasn't just one person at the same time. It was 2 or 3 people at the same time. We're talking about within 5 minutes, he beat like 30 people. Okay? So, everybody knows that that's a damage hack. Okay? So, the reason why this stuff doesn't really happen on the Asia server is because, honestly, they're going to get sniffed out and they're going to get just dropped down. And it's not by just one guild. It's a bunch of guilds put together. There's a big competition on the Asia server. The Asia server is crazy. But one thing I'm going to give everybody on the Asia server is when they sniff out something like that, they all join in. Whether you hate the guild or not, they all join in, and they farm the living shit out of them. Okay, so I'm gonna give them that much. Now, I wasn't involved in farming the damage hacker. I wasn't. I don't get ranked that high. All right, I just know about it because they hit trolling. They hit another guy in our guild. They hit. I think they hit Cold Steel. They hit a bunch of people actually, and then everybody got together looking for this person. And it wasn't only us. Licious was involved in it too. They got hit, and they started hitting back. And probably Guy Monster, and probably a few other guilds. Okay? But they started hitting the booster, the damage hacker. Okay? And everybody joined together to knock the cheater out. Okay? So, whatever happened on Global, I'm going to remain neutral. Why? I'm not on Global. Not that I don't care. But we were talking about it in the guild today, in Zypher Guild, in Zypher Chat today. And Cold Steel, and I was telling him, I'm like, yo, Global's a fucking shit show right now, This happened, that happened, like, what the fuck? He was like, yeah, I just looked at the forum too. Cold Steel popped in, said, I just looked at the forum too. It's fucking crazy. And we were all talking about it, and Cold Steel made a very good suggestion, and I'm going to tell you what he suggested. He suggested you don't get, to stop the boosting, you don't get any points for defense successful. Now, there's 2 ways that you can go about this, because this will just bring more damage hackers instead of boosting. Okay, but the boosting is a little easier to report. Sometimes it gets caught right away, and it just goes, they just disappear. Now, not the boosting, I'm sorry, the damage hack. Because it's an APK file, and whatever Comtools has been doing, they catch it and they get banned right away, and it's like a permaban or whatever the case is. Now, some people said it's going to destroy the game and the aspects of the game, but honestly, if you don't get any points for a defense successful, but you lose points for a defense fail, it still gives you the incentive of putting up a good defense. And then you have to pretty much win with an offense, which is pretty much what's going on right now. All right? So, you know what? I think everybody should just honestly, put down the fact that whatever happened last night happened. It already happened. Stop complaining, The guys got banned. It is what it is, okay? But I really think that there is some sort of a change that needs to get done. And people are going to be like, oh, but you know what? They're still going to refill in the arena. But you know what? Let me tell you guys something, okay? If people didn't spend money on the game to refill in the arena or to summon scrolls, there wouldn't be a game anymore, You guys got to understand something, all right? Comtois is bringing us a good game. They need to make money. It has to be a win-win situation, not only for us, the players, but for Comtois, the developer. All right? It can't just be just for the players and not for Comtois. Then it's going to get to the point where nobody gives a fuck. And nobody at Comtois completely gives a fuck is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like, Comtois has to make money off of the game. And I understand them. You can't, putting a timer on the refills and doing all that, it's kind of understandable, but it's also where some of their bread and butter comes from. Like, people refill for the arena. They want to be in the top 100. They want to be shown in the top 100. They want to do it. It's their money. Let them spend it. So, I really think that not gaining points for a defense successful, but losing points for a defense failed, okay? And pretty much you got to work on your offense. And you're still working on your defense to either get a draw or like whatever the case is. But it will stop the boosting. Cold Steel came up with a really, really good idea. It will pretty much stop the boosting. So, and I've talked to a few people about this, and they said, no, it's going to kill some other aspects of the game. No, it's really not. Because you still have to concentrate on your defense. And offense is what it's all about. Anyways, The other thing about it is, and another person suggested, and you know what, it might have even been Cold Steel that said it. I don't remember the whole conversation, but I just like the idea of the conversation. Because this happened hours ago. Like, we're talking about it happened this morning, and I'm not in the mood to back read. I hate back reading on the lineup anyway. So, what do you call it? Another thing is, even if you get a defense fail, you don't lose any points. And that's because of the unfairness of the artificial intelligence, Either way, something to that extent has to get done, because even with the wing refreshing being every 5 minutes or whatever the case is, and no revenging, you're still gonna end up with some of the inconspicuous shit going on, And honestly, and the last minute shit that goes on. And honestly, I really think that this is the best way to go. Pretty much is, if you get a defense fail, you lose the points. If you get a defense successful, and look at this, I failed my Dragon's Run. I'm not even paying attention to what's going on. Did Sick die? I'm looking at my computer screen instead of looking at... Did Sick die when I was at Zaros? Whatever, I'll just look at it later. That's besides the point. I changed the rune on Sig. I changed him to full attack instead of having hit points in one slot. And it's kind of killing my Dragon's Runs. I think I'm going to put that hit point rune back on him. But whatever, that's besides the point. Who gives a shit about my Dragon's Runs? Well, we're talking about trying to change the system. Okay? So, the only problem I have with this is going to bring more damage hacks into the game. But, you know what? We're not going to be dealing with the consistent booster. We're not going to be dealing with the boosting at all afterwards. You're not going to have the guy, and let me tell you something, the guy that had the damage hack, all right, first of all, it's impossible for you to get like 30 wins in 10 minutes. You have to be beating everybody's defense in like 10 seconds, seriously, because it takes like 10 seconds just to press the fucking button and the whole loading screen and the animation of going into the arena. Come on. It takes like 10, 15, 20 seconds, whatever the case is. So, I honestly, in my opinion, I think that's the best way to go with it, is pretty much, and they should, and I would put, if I knew, I would put, I would put up a petition or a link, but I'm not even sure on how to do it. To be honest with you guys, I'm a little retarded, and I wouldn't mind somebody actually doing it. You know, I know I sound a little lazy right now, but whatever the case is, I'm not even 100% sure on how to do it. Go through Google Docs and do the whole thing. But I really think that this is the way to go. At least it'll stop the boosting, guys. You know? Whatever the case is, it is, but at least it's going to stop the boosting. That's really what's important here. Who gives a shit about who did what or what happened? And honestly, I don't even want to get into the whole story because there is a story to the whole thing, and I don't even want to. You know, it's like a long fucking story. I don't want to get caught up in the middle of it. I seriously don't know what to say. It's like, I think I'm better just staying neutral, giving my suggestion and my opinion on the whole situation. Okay? So, like, because honestly, in Asia, this wouldn't have happened. That's why we don't deal with this stuff in Asia. That's why you don't see people posting like, yeah, you know what? I think a booster got #1 rank like 2 or 3 weeks ago. All right. Sometimes they slip by. They have like Rena on their defense or some shit, you know. But they normally don't slip by. They get sniffed out, and they get sniffed out pretty fast too. You know, I have to give it to the guys in Asia, to everybody in Asia, all the guilds in Asia. It's pretty well put together. What happened on Global was just a complete shit show. Seriously, it was just a complete fucking shit show. All right, so whatever, guys. That's just my suggestion. I'm not giving my opinion. I really don't want to give my opinion. I would rather remain neutral in the whole situation, as I've said 10 times. But now that the Dragon's Run ended, and let's see what kind of rune I got. I don't understand this, man. 4-star runes in B10. Come on. Before the whole nerf and everything, it was hard. It was rare to see a 4-star rune. I'd get one once a week from Giants. Now you get 4-star runes like 10 times a day. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I really hope that you guys go with my suggestion. I really think that's the best way to get it done, to stop the boosting, because putting a timer, it really doesn't stop the boosting. It really doesn't. Putting a timer and stopping the revenges or limited revenges. Limiting the revenges, honestly, it kind of kills the game, because there are some people, I don't hate them. I just want to revenge them. You know, I find it a little competitive. You know, there has to be a competitive spirit in the game. I really think what Cold Steel suggested was 100% the right thing to do, to say. Is pretty much, you don't get any points for defense successful. That just nips it all in the bud. You know? That's it. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll talk to everybody later.